fast food is a staple in many American diets. It is sold to us as something that is not only delicious and convenient, but also a really good value. It is convenient if you happen to be out already. It is delicious if it's what you're used to, but it is not a good value because you can make the same thing at home for a fraction of the price, and I'm about to show you that you can indeed make burger, fries, and a drink at home for much cheaper than at a fast food restaurant. Before we get started, I have some timestamps in the video description. I'm going to first go over my shopping trip to Winco to pick up these ingredients. Then I'm going to show you how to actually cook your burger, fries, and soda. And then at the very end of the video, I'm going to go over all the little technocratic, mathematical, go through every single item in the burger and break down that price to the price per burger to determine what the actual price per burger is. Now, you've already seen that in the thumbnail, so you already know what the price per burger is, but you'll have a breakdown of exactly why it costs that. So first, let us go to Winco to buy our ingredients. So fry off 2 pieces of bacon per burger until they're nice and crispy. And meanwhile, I've got an onion chopped up and 12 mushrooms sliced, as well as my burger meat portioned out. This is 1/2 pound of beef per total burger, 1/4 pound per patty. And this is the rest of the beef portioned out into 4 half-pound sections. This is slightly less than 1/2 pound because I had slightly less than 3 pounds of beef total, but it's pretty close. I smash them onto a paper towel to get out some of that excess moisture. This is like a smash burger, but I'm pre-smashing. And this is the bun. I'm just checking for size comparison. Don't worry, that bun's gonna get cooked later, so it's okay that it's touching raw meat. You want your patty bigger than your bun because it's going to shrink a little bit during cooking. Now, after the bacon has finished cooking, you remove that last piece, and look at all this lovely fat. We're gonna fry our onions and mushrooms in just a little bit of that fat, about 1/2 teaspoon each, and the rest of that fat do not throw away. Save it in your bacon fat jar that you keep in the fridge. Delicious for frying potatoes or beans or other things. Anyway, in our 2 giant pans with bacon fat, I'm putting the mushrooms into one pan and the onions into the other pan to saute. I season them lightly just with a little bit of salt, just to help draw out some moisture and to flavor it just a bit. The bacon grease is already quite salty. And this was our big splurge, the butter lettuce. This almost cost $3, but look how beautiful it is. And it's just so much better than what you'd get at a fast food restaurant. 2 pieces per burger. And as you can see, the onions and mushrooms are nicely cooked down, caramelized. This is the cheese. I started with 5.5 inches of cheese, and after I cut the cheese for 2 burgers, I'm left with just 5 inches, so that means 1/4 inch of cheese per burger. I'm keeping track of this for price calculations. 1 potato, peeled potato, and sliced potato. That's pretty basic. And then we're going to put it in a bowl of water for about 20 to 30 minutes just to release some of the excess starch from that potato. This is a little bit of leftover beef tallow from the last time I made burgers. Save your burger grease too. It makes really good French fries. That's all that I happen to have at the moment, so I'm going to supplement it with some of the store-bought oil. I'm using about 1.5 cups of fat total. And I'm just cutting this paper towel that the burgers are on for easier release later when I fry them up. You'll see how it works later. And pat the burgers dry and pat the fries dry. Make sure they are not at all wet. And I'm now checking the temperature of my oil with this lovely ThermoWorks ThermoPen. I have an affiliate link in the description if you want to buy it. It's expensive. It's around $100, but so worth it. Other digital thermometers suck.
Okay, it is actually day 2 of making these burgers. So I have the bacon pre-cooked, I have my mushrooms and my onions pre-cooked from yesterday. I'm just gonna microwave those again to use them. I have my condiments and all prepped, and the burgers are all ready to go. My fries are drying, because this last part of the process happens really quickly, so everything has to be ready to go. So you heat the oil first. We're gonna be doing double frying. So you heat the oil first to 325. I'm using a really, really tiny pot because I'm only making like 24 French fries total because we don't eat that many. Okay, the oil is too hot. It's 348. So if that happens, all you have to do is just like add a little bit of cold oil. Yay! Now we're hovering around 330. All right, so put my thoroughly dry fries in. So this is their first fry. This is going to basically like cook them through, and then the second fry, which we're going to do at a higher temperature, is going to crisp them up. Slotted spoon. Just want to make sure they don't stick to the bottom.
Get the monster, Miney. Get the monster.
This is after about 3 minutes. As you can see, they are not really taking on any color in this initial fry. We are really just cooking them through in this one. Okay, so the fry's been cooking for about 5 minutes, and at this point, you know, they're basically cooked, but they're not fries yet. I'm gonna take them out and drain them. Woo! So, I'm gonna raise the temperature and heat the oil to 350, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna turn on my burger pan to screaming hot. You want it on like high. I have my burgers all ready to go. They're going to take about 1 minute per side, so it all comes together in like 3 minutes. The fries are going to take about 2 minutes on their second fry, so I'm trying in theory to get everything done all at the same time. So I'm going to preemptively toast the bottom buns of my burgers just to get that out of the way. Alright, you want smoke rising from this pan, and this oil, I just checked it, it was like 345, so I'm assuming by now it's about 350. So, yeah, alright, think fast. That in. Season it. And fries are going to go into the oil. My tops of my burger buns are ready to go. My bottoms of my burger buns are ready to go. Burgers are sizzling away. Fries are sizzling away. So I'm basically going to take the fries out of the fryer after I flip these burgers and put cheese on them, and probably taking them off and put them on the bottom patties. Ready to flip. That'll help melt the cheese. It really takes like 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, and they're done. As you can see, the fries are starting to puff out a little bit, and they're picking up a tiny, tiny bit of color. We don't want them getting like brown. Woo! That's so great, let's do it again. Salt. Alright, now we're just going to finish assembling. There's probably a better way to do it than what I'm doing it, but I'm just going to go in there. Got some caramelized onions, some mushrooms, and tomatoes, and pickles, And lettuce. Ooh! I'll take that one. I probably could have cooked those a little more. Well, we'll just pretend that these are In-N-Out fries.
Rainy. That's cool.
So there you have it. I haven't run the numbers yet, like 100%, but I did some preliminary number crunching, and this is about half the price that you would pay for the deluxe meal at fast food restaurant of your choice. I poured my husband a glass of Coke for his Coke habit, and I'm just having seltzer because I'm boring.
Ooh.
That looks good. It's so gloppy. This plate full of food is about 1,300 calories too. So it's like 2 meals basically. And it's really yummy, so make it. So there you have it. I made a burger, fries, and Coke that were much tastier, of much higher quality than what you would get at a fast food restaurant, and as I'm about to show you by running all the numbers and doing all the math, also much cheaper. So for the vegetable oil, yes, I bought a $4.98 gallon of oil, but I did not use the whole thing for this recipe. I only used about 1.5 cups of oil to fry the French fries. My glasses are super foggy. Some of you purists might be like, oh, well, you still spent that much money, so it counts. I say, no, it doesn't count. I can use that oil for so many other things in the future. And even of the 1.5 cups of oil that I used to fry the fries, I was able to salvage about 1.25 cups of that left. Only about 1/4 cup of the oil actually made it onto the fries and onto the paper towel and maybe onto the slotted spoon. I save that oil and I reuse it again. You can deep fry things again with that oil, and you can use it anytime you need a not neutral flavored oil. Like, it's great for making refried beans. It's good, like, if I'm just gonna saute some summer squash or eggplant and eat it with some rice, like, I use leftover deep fried oil. I wouldn't use it like if you're gonna bake a cake. Like, don't use it for that because it has some flavor to it. But yeah, you can fry greens in it, fry vegetables in it, fry tofu in it. You can just use it as cooking oil if you're gonna be making something savory. You can deep fry again with it. And like I said, refried beans is a really good way to use it up because it has a lot of oil in it. Anyway, the $4.98 of oil was for a whole gallon. Only really 1/4 cup of oil made it into the French fries, so that's just 8 cents for the oil. For the Coke, yes, I bought a 2-liter bottle of it for $1.68. And yeah, I had to buy the whole thing, but guess what? If I'd bought like a drink at a fast food restaurant, it would have been like almost that much money just for like a 16-ounce drink of the Coke. So it's so much cheaper to buy it at a store, especially in 2-liter format. That's usually the cheapest way to buy soda. And so my husband probably drank about 1/6 of that. Like, a glass is not 8 ounces. A glass is usually 12 to 16 ounces. So I'm guessing that he drank about 1/6 of that 2-liter bottle, which is 28 cents per glass of soda. For the ketchup and the mustard, the ketchup bottle cost 87 cents, the mustard bottle cost 95 cents. And in Winco, and actually all grocery stores, this is extremely handy. They show you the price per ounce next to the cost of the entire unit, and that's really important. If you're buying something like ketchup or mustard and you want the cheapest option available, don't look at the total price, look at the price per ounce, because that's really going to show you how much value you're getting. The lower cost that price per ounce is, the better. So anyway, I got Winco brand because that's the cheapest, and the ketchup was 3 cents per ounce, the mustard was 4.8 cents per ounce. I used about 1/2 ounce of each. An ounce is equal to a tablespoon. So it was actually 2 cents for both of them. The way the price per ounce worked out is about 2 cents per ketchup and 2 cents for the mustard. For the cheese, the entire block of cheese cost $4.83. I did not use the entire block of cheese in even all 6 of the burgers. I only used 1.5 inches of the entire block, and the entire block was 5.5 inches. So that means that I used only 1/4 inch of the block of cheese per burger, which is 1/22
of the whole block of cheese. So 4.38 divided by 22 is about 22 cents worth of cheese per burger. Now you purists again might be thinking, but you had to buy that whole block of cheese, I'm not gonna throw it away, I'm gonna use it in other things. And if you're not ready to use cheese right away, here's a tip, you can freeze it. Cheese actually freezes really well. It's kind of crumbly when you defrost it, but if you're just gonna melt it anyway, like into a quesadilla or into enchiladas or something, it's totally fine. So I actually did freeze the rest of my cheese, and I'm gonna use it in enchiladas later probably. For the beef, this is one of the most expensive components of the burger. It's really what makes burgers expensive. And if you are a restaurant and you're buying your beef wholesale in extreme bulk, this is where you're gonna be able to save a lot of money compared to a home cook like me. I got kind of run-of-the-mill ground beef from Winco, and it was $6.15 total for the entire package of beef, which I divided by 6, so that is $1.02 per burger. For the bacon, the entire package that I bought, again, I bought Winco brand, which is going to be generally cheaper. I look at the price per ounce to determine that, but it's going to be generally cheaper than some name brand mass-produced bacon. But it was $7.39 for the whole package of bacon, and I counted, there were 27 pieces of bacon total in that package, and I used 2 pieces of bacon per burger. So I divided it by 27, and it's 27 cents per slice of bacon, so 54 cents per burger of bacon. For the mushrooms, this is a specialty item that fast food places, most of them wouldn't even have. Like, this makes it even more deluxe, so if you want to save even more money on your burger, for sure, like, leave off the mushrooms. This is also kind of why I'm breaking down all these condiments one price unit at a time. So if you're like, I don't like mushrooms on my burger, you can leave them out and subtract that price out. Anyway, mushrooms. It was $3.19 for 18 mushrooms total. I only used 12 mushrooms total in all these burgers. The other 6 went onto pizza later in the week. So to find out the cost per mushroom, I divided $3.19 by 18, and that's 17.72 repeating cents per mushroom. Incidentally, I've been rounding these to the nearest whole number, so I multiplied that by 12 since I used 12 mushrooms, and I got $2.13 for the 6 burgers. Then I divided that by 6 and got 35 cents per burger. So that's kind of expensive, but it's a really nice touch, and you could leave it out and save 35 cents per burger if you wanted to. For the buns, I got pretty cheap Winco brand buns. It was $1.48 for 8 buns. We only used 6 of them. Divided that by 8, and I got 19 cents per bun. Now, what did I do with those 2 buns that I didn't use? I froze them. They freeze well as well. Stick them in your freezer for several months, pop them out when you want to use them, thaw them in your fridge, and then pop them in the toaster, and they're as good as new. You barely would notice that they were previously frozen. For the tomato, this was beautiful. It happened to be exactly $1, and it was actually price per pound, but it just happened to work out so that one tomato that I bought was exactly $1, which was Anyway, the tomato was $1 divided by 6. That means it was 17 cents per burger. The onions was 64 cents total for all the onion, and divide that by 6, and that's about 11 cents per burger. The lettuce, this is another area where I totally could have saved some money, but my husband and I really like butter lettuce in our burgers, so I splurged for that living butter lettuce. It cost $2.98 for a head of lettuce. You can definitely get a head of lettuce cheaper than that. You could get like red leaf lettuce, green leaf lettuce, or even iceberg. That's usually what the fast food restaurants use because it's cheap, but it's watery, has no flavor, has no nutrients either, really, so I stay away from iceberg. But if you really want to save money and if you want to be more like a fast food restaurant, go ahead and get iceberg, much cheaper. Anyway, the butter lettuce that I got, I used 3/4 of that entire head for the 6 burgers. The remaining quarter I used to make a salad later, so it's not like I threw it away or wasted it or anything. Anyway, I took 3/4 of that, and then, which was $2.23, and then I divided that by 6 for 37 cents per burger with your lettuce. So as you can see, the lettuce was about 37 cents per burger, the mushrooms were 35 cents per burger. Those are kind of expensive, not quite necessary condiments on your burger, and a lot of the fast food restaurants, even for their deluxe special burgers, they maybe only have like 2 special condiments, like just bacon and tomato, or just, So anyway, use your discretion. And now for the French fries, the potato component of the French fries. I got 1 potato that was 3/4 of a pound. and the price per pound was 48 cents. So it was 36-cent potato. It was a pretty large potato. And I used that to make basically one normal size serving of fries, but my husband and I, like, even when we eat out, like, there's always leftover fries. And leftover fries are terrible. There's not that much you can do with them. And I didn't want them to go to waste, and we didn't want to eat a bunch of fries. So I just made one serving of fries for the both of us, but let's just be authentic and pretend, okay, it was one serving per one person. So that's 36 cents worth of potato for the fries and 8 cents worth of oil for the fries. So let's look at some totals. The total for the burger with the grilled onions, the mushrooms, the bacon, the cheese, the lettuce, the tomato. I think that's everything. And that's definitely more special. Oh yeah, the mustard and the ketchup. That's definitely more special additions than you would get in any typical fast food restaurant. And they would charge a little bit extra for like the tomatoes and the lettuce. Anyway, that whole cost was $3.01 per burger. And this is a double patty bacon cheeseburger with a bunch of special fixins. It's a little over 1,000 calories, so this is like half your daily requirement of food is $3. It's still kind of on the pricey side, in my opinion, if you're really wanting to save money. But if this is a special treat, a special occasion thing, you're having 5 friends over, you want to make 6 burgers, and it's a big special do, then yeah, this is a cheaper way to do it than eating fast food or going out to a burger restaurant. The fries for one person is only 44 cents. And then the soda for one person is 28 cents. I actually didn't have soda. I don't like soda. Usually if we have fast food, I don't get a drink and I just drink like my bottled water that I keep in my purse. And then that makes the total meal $3.73. So I am going to break down the calories too very briefly since I did mention calories. When you're talking about saving money with food, a lot of people overlook calories. It's really important to take your calories into account and to figure out like the price per calorie, because that will really show you what a good value certain ingredients are or certain foods are. So anyway, the bun is 180 calories, the bacon is 80 calories, the hamburger patties are 600 calories, the onions that are sauteed in just a tiny bit of bacon grease left over from the bacon, 25 calories, mushrooms also sauteed in grease, 25 calories, the cheese is 100 calories, and the condiments are about 20 calories. So the total calories for one burger is 1,025 calories. So that's like more than half of my daily requirements because I'm on an 1,800 calorie diet. And then the calories for the fries, these are much more difficult to estimate. Whenever you deep fry anything, it's really hard to estimate the calories. So general advice, if you're on a diet or counting calories, just avoid deep fried foods altogether because it's really hard to calculate those calories. But anyway, a rough estimate, the potato is about 200 calories, and then the oil that made it into the potato, probably about 2 tablespoons worth of oil, about 200 calories worth of oil. So probably 400 calories for that serving of French fries. So for those of you who are asking, what about the salt? Well, at Winco in the bulk section, you can buy as little salt as you want, and I recently bought 3 whole tablespoons of it for just 5 cents. I use probably about less than a teaspoon of salt per burger, which means I use less than a cent worth of salt per burger, so I'm just not going to count it. So that was my very technocratic breakdown on how expensive a deluxe fast food burger is if you make it at home. Of course, there are still advantages to getting fast food. It can be a nostalgic experience. It can be incredibly convenient if you're on a road trip and there's really just no other option. And you know, you can save a lot of time. It takes time to make your own burgers. But if you look at it as something that is a special occasion kind of food, you can make a special meal without breaking the bank. Only $3.73 for a huge, deluxe, juicy burger with all kinds of ingredients and condiments and fries and a drink. I think that's a pretty good deal for a special meal. So I would like to do more of these videos where I look at popular foods that people eat either at restaurants or prepared, like bought in the instant aisle or whatever, and comparing it to the homemade version to see which is cheaper or better overall. Let me know if there are any other foods you want me to address. Like me on Facebook for more recipes, and I'll see you next Friday.